Hey crazy friends,
Hey guys!
it's Jay and Francis with Find Your Crazy. We are a family of 9 who live full-time in our camper with 5 of our kids as we travel the country to see every national park. And today we're super excited because this is our first video back on the road after being in place through
Yay!
all the holidays, and we could not be happier. So follow us along today. We're going to tell you about where we're going. We're also going to talk a little bit about why we're going there because it has to do with us controlling our budget for this year. So maybe that'll help you as well. Come along. Y'all, it is good to be back on the road.
Oh, yes, we are not even to our destination yet, but oh my goodness, we wondered. We've been sitting still for 2 months, and it just was like, well, what will this be like getting back out there? Because we have been in our hometown, and you just fold back into life kind of there, but we're outside right now. It's like 78 degrees.
We've been like 50, 60, 30 degrees for like the last month, and so now it's back to some nice warmer weather, a beautiful breeze.
And look over here.
We're at this amazing campground with pecan trees between
Look.
every single campsite.
Yes.
So our kids have been picking them up. We've been cracking them and eating them right out the door of our camper.
They've never done that before, and so Jay was showing them how to crack them, and it's just so fun to be out, even in a stop along the way. This is not the destination. This is a one night. We didn't even hook the truck, but it's so nice and reminds us that everywhere we go, it's just a new opportunity, a new experience, even if it's just a little roadside stop to your destination.
We're here for 12 hours.
Yeah, we're leaving first thing.
We're sucking it up because we just love it. It's just the weather's nice. The pecan trees, things kids have never done. We remember this is why we're doing RVing.
This is why we travel. We love it. So come along. We've got lots of miles to go, but we're
not
heading
even the destination.
to the warm weather. So come on with us. It's going to be good.
So that's right. As you can see, we decided to come to
Florida.
Because when you've been chasing warm weather for 4 months like we were, no rain, mid 70s every day for 4 months straight, and then you come into rainy, cold Atlanta, even though it's all we've known for 13 years, all of a sudden it's how do people live here? Not really, but it was pretty miserable. We had a lot of really cold, in fact, probably more nights than not. Over the month and a half we were there, I had to unhook the water at night because it got below freezing, and it was raining more days than it wasn't. We were all ready to go, and we were all ready to go somewhere warmer. In fact, we weren't sure, after being at home in place for such a long time, if the kids would want to, but about 2 weeks before we actually left, they started one at a time coming up hey, when are we going to get on the road again?
And it helped that we were going to Florida, and so they have a lot of great memories there in the Orlando area, and so we were really excited to see that they had caught some of what we had been doing. And so you wonder that when you launch out, when you leave friends and family and neighbors and churches, and you think, wow, it's kind of maybe it's a family decision, but the adults kind of lead on that. And so it's also great when the kids start to own it and love it and start to get ready to move on to the next place, even after being at home.
Yeah, when it becomes for them the norm, you just kind of wonder if in their brain this has just been some wild random thing, and when we go back home, they're going to lock back in there, and it's going to be so much harder.
We've been home for 2 months.
But being on the road is now the norm to them. So being home was great. They enjoyed being there with Annalie and Larry and the holiday stuff we did, but they were all ready to go.
That's good. We were excited for our parent hearts.
Super excited for that. And so we have come to Florida because it's warmer, and if you want to go somewhere warmer from Georgia, that's the closest place you can go. And it's worked. The halfway point, we were already up about 15 degrees over the high we'd been, and we're going to be up another 10 in the last day that we've been here. So we're here in the Orlando area, and we are really, really soaking up the sunshine. But we didn't just come here for the warm weather. We also came here as part of our New Year's kind of resolution, if you will, to control our camping budget better. If you watched our last video, we talked a little bit about, well, 2 videos ago. Last video we talked about Virginia. 2 videos ago, we talked about our new year and things that we were going to try to do different. And one of the things that was really top of our list is controlling our camping budget.
Yes.
Into last year, we were having to break reservations because of COVID and the fire, and then remake them like a week at a time and getting what we could. And just long story short, we spent more on camping than what we wanted to. And so really this year we've got a number for the month, and we are really trying to stay to that. But for us, what that means is we have to get in some free camping every month.
Right.
We can't just, even going like low ball kind of scary campgrounds you wouldn't want to be at, wouldn't quite make it for us. And that's not what we want to do. Yeah, that's not what we want to do. And so for us, that means leaning into the clubs and memberships that we already have, as well as adding some new ones like Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host. But for us right now, it really means trying to use our 1,000 Trails membership a lot more. We're not a big exorbitant membership. We have the base membership, camping pass, because we move so much. But that still allows us to get 7 to 14 days of free camping every month when we're near them, and intentionally go to them, even if they're a little out of the way. And so, for example, this time we drove all the way down to Orlando to get a week and a half of free camping, and then we're driving right back up to Atlanta for Francis's birthday, and then driving right back down here. But we did it because it's free, and we can use that to compensate for our overall budget.
Because we are at the end of the month going to some more expensive places. We're going to be headed down to South Florida, and if anybody's been down there, you know that that's expensive. But what we're also doing is being focused on our goal.
Right.
So you can see a million things everywhere you go. You can see beautiful from expensive to inexpensive, but it doesn't matter if you don't keep your goals in line. And so for us, we've had to really circle back to our goal are the national parks. And so it's exciting when we can be places where there's fun things to do, but at the end of the day, when the numbers don't add up and when we're trying to budget, we want to spend our money where the national parks are. So that means saving up and maybe sitting in place at a campground for a week to a week and a half, so that we can free that money up, that when we're in those national parks, we can do the fun things that really make that national park its own. And some of the national parks, it's pretty inexpensive, but there are some, especially in South Florida, where there's some fun, iconic things that we can't wait to share with you that we've got on tap. But that means making sure that we're diligent. Yes. And so that has been something we keep reminding ourselves that would be so much fun, and that will be another time and another trip on another season. But right now, national parks are the goal. So we would encourage you, as you're trying to reformat your budget, no matter what it is, whether you live at home at a Sticks and Bricks, or whether you're traveling or weekend warring, or you just have an exciting trip plan, keep your goals in mind, narrow it down, and make the main things in your budget.
So one of the things that, if you've watched our channel, you know that we are debt-free, and we have been for almost 20 years now, except for our home. It's the only debt that we've had in those 20 years. And to do that, you have to be really intentional. And one of the things that we've learned is that being debt-free, or being on a budget, as we are now both, doesn't mean saying no to everything. It means saying no to some things so that you can say yes to the things that are important. It's putting the first things first, because if not, especially we've found RV traveling, where there's something fun to do everywhere, it's easy to let the in and out little daily things steal all of your budget, and then you get to the big thing
so fast.
And wait a minute, I thought we had $300 left for the month to do this. But if you sit down at the beginning of the month and say, look, this is what we've got, going to spend a couple of nights on the Keys is going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it. So let's sacrifice now so that we can do that later. And so that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do throughout this year. And so we're going to continue to share with you some of these things that we're doing, like I said, like Boondockers Welcome and some different things that we haven't done before that we're going to do this year, and we're going to share those with you. And so that's what we're doing here in Orlando. And like I said, we're staying here about a week and a half, but that doesn't mean that you can't have any fun. And especially our family always wants to have some fun, some crazy fun, but some crazy cheap fun. And so the crazy thing is, if you really look and kind of ask around, we found a great resources asking around at your campgrounds, looking online, you can find some things that are amazing and cheap. So for example, today we're going to Blue Springs State Park. It's going to cost us $6 to get our car through the gate.
Whole family.
Less than $1 a person for our family, and that's it. And we're going to get to hopefully see a bunch of manatees, a bunch of other wildlife, and have just an amazing day out within an hour of where we're staying for $6.
And we have a picnic lunch, and so we are hoping to head out and really just enjoy a day soaking up the sun and the fun and being together as a family and just experiencing nature in its own area. We've all seen them at Disney, or we've seen them in aquariums, but we're looking forward to see creation out in its created place. And so come along with us. We're going to have a good time.
See if we can track down some of those manatees.
So we just said we're in Florida to chase the 70-degree, wonderful 80-degree weather.
We didn't say catch it. We said
y'all,
chase it.
Look at us. We're freezing. It is so cold and windy. So we just wanted to say it's not warm here at Blue Springs today.
It's
but
warmer than it is in Atlanta. So
but you know what?
Still take it.
There are 4 manatees here today. I know there's usually lots more, but y'all, there's 4.
4 is more than we've seen.
We could have had none. So we're so excited to go see some Barbara manatees. All right, we're going to go now. Today?
The manatees and the crocodile.
I think it was an alligator, right?
Oh, alligator.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? How many manatees did we see? How many do you think we saw?
About 8 or 10.
Yeah, it's a pretty good day, huh? We thought 4. Joe, what about you? Same? Manatees? Yep. What do you like? Sky, what are some other animals we saw? So we saw a manatee and an alligator, but there was other stuff.
A huge fish. We saw birds, and we saw a turtle.
Yeah, we saw a couple of turtles, didn't we? Yeah, and it's all pretty close, right? Like right there together. Hey, Rosie, what did you see?
I see 4 birds.
4 birds. You saw 4 birds? Wow, that's pretty cool. All right. We saw something else really silly just a few minutes ago. What was that?
Oh, wait a minute. We saw a bird running.
What kind of bird was it?
I I have no idea.
I think it was a vulture, Dad said. Was he running all the way across? There he goes. Oh, wait, there he is. He's right there. He's not running now. You see today?
A fish.
You saw a fish? Was it big or was it small?
Big.
It was a big fish. Did you see him jumping out the water?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about you, Dad? What's been your favorite part so far?
Oh, he's running.
Probably getting to see the manatees. You got to be patient to wait for them to come up and come near you, but it was worth the wait. Pretty cool.
He's right there. Oh, he's going to come up. Oh, he's coming up. Oh, my goodness. Look at him. He's putting on a show. Oh, that's awesome, guys. He's huge. All right, so we had a great day at Blue Spring State Park. If you are in this area, it is a must. I mean, talking about budget friendly. Like, we got in here for $6, one car, $6 for a car, and spent the whole day. Brought a picnic lunch, got to see tons of animals, including manatee. I mean, we saw about 10 to 12 maybe. They say 2 days ago there was like 100, and some days there's like 300. It just depends on how cold it is in the river, the water in the river, how much they want to come to the warm spring or not. But I mean, still, we enjoyed seeing the ones that we got to see. Yes, and constantly they're coming up. There's little platforms all along a boardwalk, so it's really accessible to anybody. We saw people there with strollers and wheelchairs and canes and walkers, so it's very accessible to everybody. And then there's little kind of patios that come out, and it just hangs over the river, and you can kind of see all the different types of fish. What were some of the kind of fish we saw? We realized it was what was the big one that we saw?
The gar.
It was a gar, and they are enormous. And there was some catfish. There was about 11 or 12 foot gator that we saw, tilapia. So there's beautiful birds, lots of different types of water birds. So even though the manatees are the star of the show, you will not be disappointed even if you don't come on a 300-day like we did not. Ours was just a few. Sorry, my sunglasses keep falling off all the time. But even if it's not a day where it's just packed full of manatees. There is so much to do, so many things to read and learn, and also so many other types of wildlife as well. But we saw plenty of manatee.
Yep.
They would swim right by us. They would come up and take their breath, and they would sprawl out where you could just kind of let the sun catch their whole little really light gray bodies. It was just
Super
beautiful. Cool. We were probably here. We got here early, so I would say during this season of COVID, they are limiting capacity. So you want to get here early, otherwise you have to wait. So they will cut it off. So on busy times like weekends, and
there's so many people let in the park. So if you get here late, you have to wait till somebody leaves before you can.
And we literally got here about 9:30, and it is about 1:45. So you can imagine, like, we've stayed here all day long. So if people were waiting, we didn't leave for several hours, right. And so you could really be disappointed. We made a bit of a drive, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes. 20
minutes from from the Orlando 1,000 Trails, which is where we're staying. It's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and so it's not a bad drive. But if you had loaded up and gotten everybody here and you don't get in, so come early. The best thing is it opens at 8 o'clock. We were here about 9:30 just because that was about as early as we could get going. And so we got here at 9:30, and there was nobody here. It was absolutely desolate. Now, as the day has gone on, more and more people are here, and they're gathering on these boardwalks. So you do need to be aware. If you want to do more social distancing, you need to be here early so that you can get a prime spot and you can kind of sit and just wait for them to put on their show. So it was, I say, a double thumbs up. What do you guys think about, like, is it thumbs up, double thumbs up, 1, 2? What do you think?
Double thumbs up.
I think double thumbs up. And Joseph, tell them what your thoughts are on the manatees. Are they what now? If you can't hear, his new favorite animal. And so, but one of the things that we have been singing all day long in our minds is what, kids? Barbara, manatee, 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 you are the one for me, one for me, one for me. So that's from VeggieTales.
All of our VeggieTale friends. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we would love for you to do that. If you missed our last video, you can get some context on things that we're doing different this year as we're kicking off the new year. And stay tuned for all of our videos to come. Until next time, go out and have some crazy fun with your crazy family. See you guys.
Bye, guys.